Welcome to DCPC Live Presents Scene Support, the podcast that spotlights the people behind the scenes who keep DIY and underground music alive. From the bookers and the sound techs to the zine writers and venue operators, we're here to give credit where it's long overdue. I'm your host, Scott Pash, founder of DCPC Live, a DIY record label putting out short-run vinyl of live punk, hardcore, ska, and metal shows. After decades in bands behind scenes, I know the work it takes to keep a scene going, and today's guest is one of those people doing that work week in and week out. Today, I'm hanging out with Gregg, born with the hands of a skilled carpenter, one of the singer-songwriters, guitarists in Sick Move. Dave's an Annapolis-based artist, father of 3, and a small business owner of 18 years, who's been quietly shaping how our scene looks as much as how it sounds. He's created flyers, album covers, band logos, and merch designs for bands and venues all over the Baltimore area and beyond, including work for Sick Move, Meth Rats, Bootleggers and the Baptists, Doc Martin and the Flannels, Hallowed Sky, the Autobar TV and Clip YouTube channels, Jeremy Hayes, Avail, Dillinger 4, Baltimore Subscape, Eastern Standard Bedtime, Pig Ward, and a bunch more. We're going to talk about his path as an artist, how he balances family, his work as an artist and band life, and what it really means to keep a DIY visual identity going for a scene. So let's get into it. How you doing, Dave?
I'm great, Scott. How are you, man?
I'm fucking great. So I have that Meth Rats album.
And you're unanimous.
Yeah. I was scrolling through your Instagram page and I was like, oh yeah, I picked that up actually at the fest in Florida where I saw them.
Did you?
Great. They were so fucking good.
Yeah. Meth Rats are, I've known Justin for probably 20 years. Justin was one of the first musicians that I was exposed to when I crossed the bridge, because I was originally from the Eastern Shore, but when I moved over across the Western Shore and started going to shows over here, Justin was in a band called This Year Past, and they were playing at Charm City Art Space. You remember that place?
I used to be one of the bookers there. Yeah.
Did you?
I was one of the OG guys with Mike Riley and all of them setting that up.
Wow. Yeah, and so I saw them playing, and he was playing drums, and he was playing keyboards, and he was singing. And I remember me and Matt were there, and we're just like, "There's too many things. You can't do all that." He was doing it really well, and
Yeah.
I was like, "That's not fair," because I can barely play guitar, And but they were awesome. They were really good. And then he, didn't. I don't know that he did much. And then recently, came out with Meth Rats, which is probably the best band name ever that I've heard.
And it's such a Baltimore band name too.
Is it?
Yeah, it just fits. Like, I went to college in Baltimore. I mean, I met my wife at the Sidebar back in 2000. Like, I've spent a lot of time in Baltimore. Going to shows on the Loft in the 90s. Like, Meth Rats definitely fits my vision of what Baltimore has been off and on throughout life.
What's cool about the name Meth Rats is that and I was telling Justin this when we were working on the album cover. I said, it doesn't matter how you write it. You read that name, you know what kind of music it is.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of bands that can say that.
That's true. It definitely, like, I know it's going to be on the punk adjacent hardcore level. It's not going to be a death metal band. It's not going to be black metal. It's not going to be ska. I mean, I guess it could be like a ska core band, but unlikely.
Yeah, now Sick Move could definitely be a ska band.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like Sick Move, was that basically like, oh, Sick Move, like, playing a game or something like that? And
I didn't, no, I had pitched a band name from a podcast, and in the line, I was really pushing for Crankbird.
Okay.
I like that. One, and the preface of it was, it's when you get in your freaking Camaro and you turn on the engine, you're in a parking lot, and you've got the solo for Freebird cranked up, and then, you peel out. And I was like, and the guy said, he said, that's a sick move, just getting Crankbird.
I love that. Yeah.
Dude, that's perfect. And then we went into this whole thing. We're like, that's too close to Meth Rats. And I was like, well, what are you guys talking about? They're like, well, Meth Rats, Crankbird.
Sure. Yeah. I hear that goes crank.
Like,
yeah.
All right. Yeah. And I was like, then I just said, well, Sick Move. And then Matt, I was like, oh, that's the one. I was like, I don't know, dude. Like, let's sit on it. He's like, for sure. The next day, he texts everybody. He's like, I'm ready to sign on to Sick Move. Who's ready? I was like, whatever, man. And I didn't think we'd be banned by now, but here we are.
Band names are hard. I
Yeah.
was a political science major and a social studies teacher, so I always want to like use economic terms. Like I want to use like irrational exuberance. Like I just think that's just, yeah, I mean, like a band that's like super fast and having a fun time. It sounds amazing, and
Yeah.
it actually relates to like over investing in the stock market and like an
Yeah.
overabundance of like gambling and like, but like I don't know, I never win. I have had that one in my back pocket forever. It's kind of like Dave with luxury teeth. He had that in his back pocket for 1,000 years, and
Yeah.
like one day I'm gonna pull it out and someone's gonna agree. Of course, I'm 50 years old, so my time is running out.
Luxury Teeth, that doesn't even, as a band name, like you kind of don't know what you're gonna get, I
Yeah.
think. But then you see them and then it just makes sense. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like it's just like, oh yeah, that's like a hardcore punk band name.
Sure.
You know?
It's funny, right? Because like I had to pull out one of my baby tooth. It was still in my like a year or two ago. I still had my baby tooth, and
Which
I kept
one?
it way in the back here. It was
Really?
just back there. I mean, whatever. It was down there. I didn't have a tooth underneath it. I had no reason to pull it. And then it finally started causing me a problem, so I had it yanked. And they're like, "Oh, do you want an implant?" I was like, "No, I don't need no luxury teeth. It's fine."
Yeah.
What's it gonna what's gonna happen to me in the next 20 years of my life? Having
Yeah.
a very small gap all the way in the back there.
Yeah. We did you hear we covered Luxury Teeth when we played with Luxury Teeth?
I love that.
I think we did
You
pretty good too. And we, because
Yeah,
we've been playing with Luxury Teeth a lot, and I was
yeah.
like, dude, we got to keep this entertaining not only for us but for them. We really love those guys, so we don't want them to get sick of us. I was like,
I
let's
met
just play one of their songs, you know. And I think Dave told me after, he's like, I thought that you guys were just joking, and then you guys played the entire song, "Luxury Teeth" by
Yeah.
Luxury Teeth. We're like, yeah, why
Well,
not?
Sean was in Die Truly or Die with Marnie, and the first date I ever went on with Marnie was to go to the Nation to see the homeowners, and I proposed to her at the last homeowner show at the Sidebar. So, you know,
Really,
yeah, yeah. I had no ring. I was not prepared to do that. Jason from the Gamma Race told me it was a good idea, so I did it.
dude, that's awesome. How
20 years
romantic!
later, I'm married, so I guess it was a good idea.
It worked.
It
Like,
worked.
homeowners are great too. Like that's something that I was not. I had to find that. That was like a four-way split or three-way split with
Yeah,
bands.
there was a split with them and VPR and like two other bands. And
Yeah,
then I have a bunch of their demo CDRs as well that were really good.
and that's a really good split. Like I
Yeah,
put that on and I was like, oh, like homeowners are awesome.
they were great. They were great.
Well, when were they active?
I would say they were active in the early 2000s, but Dave didn't join the band probably until 03, 04, and that's when they really took off having the dual vocalists and playing off of each other.
Yeah,
That like is what really made it super special.
yeah,
It was like that was that era, like, there was the band The AKs from DC that also had the 2 vocalists, and then, like, there was Blind Society in New Jersey, and, like, It Takes All Kinds from Binghamton. There was that time period from, like, '01 to '03 where there was, like, these bands that were, like, doing the double lead vocals, and they would finish each other's verses and switch every other word and, these vocal acrobatics, and they didn't play any instruments, they just sang, and I was like,
uh,
"Oh, it was fucking" if you did it well, it was
yeah.
fucking amazing, especially if you had just enough difference in your vocals that it, like, accented the styles. I'm like, "Oh, so
So
good."
that's kind of like those metalcore bands where one guy would be clean and the other guy would be.
Yeah, except they didn't do, like, clean or whatever. They were both still punk rock style.
Yeah, so it didn't suck, you know?
No, no, yeah, I don't listen to a lot of metalcore. There was a band I was trying to play with, and we were a Bad Religion cover band originally, and then we started to try and write original songs, and the first song was metalcore, and I was like, "I'm not digging this." And he's like, "Oh, it's like Every Time I Die," and I was like, "I've heard of the band, but I never listened to them." And I went home and listened to it, and on the way home, and I was like, "I can't be in this band if this is what we're gonna sound like." I no disrespect, it's not my thing. I don't wanna
Y
play that.
No, and You know, it's funny when Matt and I moved over here from the Eastern Shore, and I know that it's an hour away, but this is back in like 2003.
Yeah.
We got over here and metalcore and like that whole emo thing was like blowing up. Like that's how, you know, people were at the shows. And we were a straight like street punk band from like Easton. And when we got over here, I think we thought that that's what punk had become, because it's like we didn't have a scene over on the Eastern Shore of Maryland. We had me, Matt, Hunter, Kevin, and like some of their girlfriends. That was our scene. That was like the extent of it. We're talking like maybe 10 people tops. So when we come over here and we see a bunch of people, like we just kind of thought that that's what had become of punk, and that was like the new thing. And we're kind of like, I mean, I guess, you know,
like Coheed and Cambria and all
yeah.
that.
Like Avenged Sevenfold, I was like, I mean, maybe.
No,
I was like, some bands doing some like, you know, whatever happened to like the Rancids and the NoFX, and of course they're still putting stuff out, but like,
yeah.
I don't know, whatever.
I mean, I was. Did you ever see? Did you ever see the Overprivileged or the Twats? Yeah.
No, but Sean's my grocer. Sean's my Trader Joe's guy. So I talked to him all the time, and he was telling me a little about the Overprivileged.
Yeah, we do like 30 songs in 30 minutes. It was definitely not fancy stuff. So
see, we were in the
our
wrong
first album was 30. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we were there. We were 99 to 2004.
Yeah.
And then the Twats was 04 to 08. But like the Twats only played Maryland or DC once a month because we toured a lot and we did a lot of weekend runs. Like we were determined to be on the road all the time. So we didn't play locally very often because we were trying to be on the road instead.
Didn't you guys have a limo?
We did. They were probably trying to use limousine. Yeah. Fucking disaster.
That's awesome.
It was something.
Drive that around.
So when Dan bought it, it was a nice silver limo. And then we were going on tour to Canada and we played a show with Two Man Advantage at the Sidebar. And while we were playing, Two Man Advantage spray painted it with "Fuck Canada," "We Hate Hockey," "What's That a Boot," and all sorts of other like anti-Canadian slurs. So we looked at it and laughed, got this paint off the headlights so we could drive, and we headed out west because we were coming up through Michigan because our record label was in Toronto. And we made it all the way through to Michigan, and we said, you know what? They may not let us across the border with our limo looking like this. We're 20-something, so we're geniuses. We go to like a Heckinger's, Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever the fuck it was, and we get a bunch of purple house paint and gold house paint and some rollers, and we paint it purple with a gold racing stripe.
Ooh.
And we got it into Canada. So.
See, if it was me, dude, I would have been like purple with a gold lightning bolt.
I mean, it was a crooked. It was not even because we did it from the hood to the roof to all the back, and it was fine. But we rocked that for forever. I think Dan eventually sold it to someone. There was a brief period of time where I was taking high school punk rock kids on prom dates with it. I was getting paid money to drive people around.
Really?
Yeah, I was using it to rake in that extra cash.
Dude, that's awesome.
Like kids would come to the all ages shows at the Royal Lee in Arlington, and I would meet them, and I'd be like, "Yeah, you want to like throw me $300? I will take you on a prom date."
Hell yes. Where's that limo now?
He sold it to a real limo service at some point.
Really?
Yeah, so it was actually being used by someone. I don't know. So it's just gone now. And any other band I've ever been in has had like a standard van, like the Overprivileged had like an E150 under the Twats, I mean. And then we sold that to Sean's other band, the Rev 11s. And when I was in Florida, my band had like my Kia Carnival. You know, everyone had to like lower themselves down from full half stacks with heads to like, you know, smaller combo amps.
Yeah, yeah.
Could, like fit in there. So, but it did the job. It did the job.
Forget those cabinets. Like I have a 4x12 cabinet, and I never used to take it to shows, but Matt would have to. And Matt was finally like, dude, I'm done. Like, because I even told him, I was like, dude, if you want me to play in this band, I can't. Like, I got 3 kids, you know, like, you're going to have to, like, carry a little extra weight so I can get to these shows on time and, like, do everything. And he was like, I'm fucking done, dude. I'm not doing it anymore.
Well, after you played the Rally in the Valley, I realized that I needed to own my own backline if I was going to keep promoting shows there. There wasn't enough space for the bands to store equipment. Changeovers were taking longer than I wanted. So there's a band I manage called World Sucks, and their drummer, Nick, he sold me 2 4x12 PV cabs and a 2x15 Yamaha for just $500.
Nice.
So I use those now. And I have my own drum set as a drummer. So I tell bands I have a full backline.
Well, that's
but I do
awesome.
ask bands if they can bring something because I really honestly don't want to load my van of everything and load it out by myself because why would I want to do that?
Yeah, that sucks.
But I have it if I need to. So like bringing New York City bands, especially who like, often don't want to bring all their stuff down 4 floors of like practice space stuff or whatever. And or like, they can, there are some bands that have to rent cars to come. They can rent a smaller car if they don't need to bring a lot of equipment.
For sure.
So
yeah, I think on Rally in the Valley, we all drive separately to every show. Because we all come from Bob's north of Baltimore, Matt's in Catonsville, I'm in Annapolis, Dan's in Baltimore somewhere. But like when we went up to Punk Island, I drove with Dan, and when we did Rally in the Valley, me and Bob carpooled. I picked Bob up on the way.
Yeah, when I was over in the overprivileged, even when I lived in DC and Maryland, we still met up at the practice space in Fairfax, even if we were playing Baltimore, and rode in together. It was just, the practice space was my parents' house, so at least, I could come back there afterwards and sleep at my parents' house if I needed to.
Yeah.
But there was something about like, those two guys were like my best friends since I was 16. So it's like, it's not even about doing the show. It's about being together. It's like, we're less of a band and more of 3 morons that are like playing music that we like. And if other people like it, that's great. But if not, we're going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Yeah. Same over here too. I just think our issue is we all listen to different audiobooks. Not me and Matt. Me and Matt are on the same kick, but yeah.
Yeah, when we got to with the Twats with Sem Radio, and our guitarist Nick always wanted to listen to comedy, and I'm like, it's fine. I would just get bored of it. So I'm more of a listen to music person. There weren't audiobooks back then when I was doing it. But let's get on to the art. I want to talk about your art. That's what we're actually here for.
Yeah.
We're not just hanging out at the bar having a beer, although I could do that with you all day long. So like your art, just to like talk about my own album that you did, like the DCxPC album, it's fabulous. The fact that you got so many people from the show and you got them so well done. I always hesitate to let bands do art on the albums because either A, it's either not good, takes forever, or it's like not of the quality where I'm not getting rejections from the pressing plant for like saying it's pixelated. Your shit was fucking sick. It hit everything. It was like, okay, this was worth everything. Like, I'm glad I let you do that.
Oh man, I'm relieved to hear you say that because I had a lot of stress doing that because I knew going into it that you had really liked to do plane covers and stuff like that. And I knew that I felt like I wanted it to sell well for you.
Oh, it's done great. We're down to like 15 left.
What?
We're down to 15 left, so it's doing
great.
You have
15 left?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. How many do you have left?
I don't know. That's not my job. No, I drew the cover. That's not my job.
Yeah, I just shipped off 10 more to my distributor. They ordered 10 more last week, so that leaves me with like 15 on hand.
That makes me feel so good. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, that was a lot of work. I had to find pictures of people that were there.
But yeah, no, I could tell like the amount of work and detail, and it was so awesome that John Waters was there, so you would have put him on the top like that.
I know.
Hilarious.
I know. And I was like, I was going to just put him in the back. And I was like, no, you gotta make him like center. And I was like, and I really love Sean Carey's art, who's the artist for, she was the artist for, did a lot of Circle Jerk stuff.
Yeah.
Their art's unbelievable.
Yeah. That Circle Jerk skanky dude, like I wanted that as a tattoo so much in my life.
Do it. There's so many good renditions of it now. Like, obviously you want to get the John Waters one. I'll send it to you.
Yes.
Yes.
I will.
Yes.
Send it to me. I will get that one.
Dude, you will be the first person to ever get a Dave Gregg tattoo.
Well, you should get more Dead Gregg tattoos. I mean, your work is really good.
Yeah, thanks.
So is that your full-time job? Are you a graphic artist full-time?
No.
No.
I'm well, I take care of my kids a lot, but I also have a business that I've been doing for past 18 years. So I do headlights on cars.
Okay.
When headlights get shitty,
Yeah.
yeah. So I go around to dealerships and I clear up headlights. I go out to people's houses, and that's a whole
All right.
service called
Hey,
Headlight Doc.
that sounds like a real, like, finding a niche that needs to be filled and filling it in a way that allows you to also do the stuff you wanna do
I
and
do
be,
so much of the stuff that I want to do to a fault. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
But like, I won't ever say that I'm the best guitarist. Far from the best guitarist. Far from the best vocalist. Far from the best artist. But I am the fucking Walter White of headlights. Like, I can make your headlight. I can take your headlights from god awful to like you would not even know that there was an issue with the headlights. I'm that good. I'm so good at it. But I've been doing it for 18 years.
Sure.
I'm, but it's not my passion. It's not my love. Obviously, it just pays.
Obviously.
But it allows me to like, I can make in 2-3 hours what I would make doing a full album for a band, and that would take me, like, I just did an album and it took me about like 25 hours.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. Like, I mean, I look at your work, it's detailed. It's not in the vein of Alex Fine. Do you know Alex Fine?
Uh, is he from Baltimore?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Is he like a Time magazine guy?
Yeah, he does Time Magazine and the City Paper and stuff, but like 25 years ago, he did album covers and flyers.
Yeah.
He was that guy. Like, he would do the flyers for overprivileged shows and twat shows and homeowners
Really?
shows and goons shows, and he did the Twats album cover and t-shirt designs. Like, he was just that guy. And like, and then all of a sudden he like, he did like the Golden Girls coloring book and NSYNC coloring book and Time Magazine and the Atlantic and all this stuff.
You said a
But like,
Golden Girls coloring book?
yeah, he did the Golden Girls coloring book.
Yeah.
He was the first person that I let like go crazy with the album cover, and it took him a year. I was like, but I couldn't say no. He was like, "Hey, I really want to do the album cover." It was a benefit album for the singer of his band, the Ratchet Boys, who had passed away from cancer. And I'm like, "This special album, and Alex Fine wants to do the art. What am I going to say? I'm going to say no." But it took a year, easily a year.
Yeah.
And I was like, "This is why I do simple album covers."
And that makes sense for sure.
I was like, I
I
appreciate it. Like, I love the good
yeah.
art, but you know, people have real jobs, and when you're doing something for someone for free or for a low cost, we get put aside.
Yes. And I don't charge a lot for when I do stuff because I'm starting to get better about that. And that, and I'm starting to get better with how much time it's actually going to take me. I've got my process down. And I also factor in like how crazy my life is. Like,
Sure.
it's Christmas time. Like, I've got projects that, people are kind of waiting on me for. I'm like, look, you're going to have to just give me a little bit, but also not charging people a lot. They don't expect a lot. I always try to over deliver when I do a project for somebody.
I did 36 shows last year that I had to have flyers made for. So I have 4 or 5 artists that I work with because you can't go to artists like, "Oh, I have 5 shows this month, do all the art, all the flyers." Because they do stuff for other people too. I'm like, I'm not their only person. So I try and spread it around. And every now and then I make flyers myself, and my make flyers are usually pretty shitty. I just take an X-Men cover and run it through Canva, and bada bing, bada boom, there it is. It's done.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's what I had to do because none of my artists were available. And they generally charge $30 to $50 depending on the artist. And there are sometimes, to be perfectly honest, I didn't have the extra cash.
Yeah. I mean, if you get in a situation like that, just hit me up. Like,
Yeah.
And I can't promise that I would do it. I could do it. It all depends on, but there's sometimes where I have nothing to do. I'm like going crazy. And I'm like, I just need something to like pull me out of a funk. Like I gotta have a mission. And once I do that, you know, like it's always like a puzzle. That's the way I look at it. And if I'm working for a band or if I'm doing a flyer or something like that, it's a puzzle and you just got to make it work. And then there's no way of saying that now it's solved, but I know it when it's solved. Does that make sense?
No,
Like,
absolutely. So like last year for the Rally in the Valley, I had two separate artists. I had one person that did like the posters and the frames and the banner, and another guy that did the t-shirts. This year, I'm going to try and find one person that does the whole cohesive thing. And I'm much more ahead. Last year, I didn't even start planning it until December because the idea came to me in December. This year, I've been planning it since like August, and I'm not repeating any bands this year. So, but like, I want to find an artist that will do the whole kit and caboodle, so it's got a nice synthesis. Like,
well, and so talk about that synthesis. It did.
yeah,
It did.
thank
It
you,
had a great. It was really cohesive. It was like branded really, really well.
thank
Um,
you,
and the flyer for it, it looked pro. It was
thank
super
you.
pro. And so quick little story about Punk Island.
Yes,
Matt saw the call for redesigning the Punk Island logo. And
yes,
this was years ago before like we even really started getting going. Um, and he sent it to me because people will reach out and say, "Oh, we're having a contest, like design us a new logo," and kind of stuff. Not understanding what Punk Island was or was about, hadn't played it, hadn't heard of it. And I look at what they already had and I said, "Oh, okay, I get it. So you guys just want somebody to do this for free, right?" Right? Oh, you're just like this corporate thing because of the way that the graphics. And so I was like, I'm not doing it. Forget that, right? And then you come to realize what Punk Island actually is, and you're like,
yes,
oh, that graphic design, that design that you guys had, made me think that this was like some massive, like I could see sponsors next to like the names of however they had it, right? However they had done Punk Island before, and that, well, I'm rocking it right now. Now this, right?
yes,
That,
exactly.
that you put that up and say, "Hey, we're doing a casting call for, or, we're accepting submissions for like a new punk." I'd be like, "Oh, okay, I get it. This is DIY."
Yes,
Um, and it's a great event. It just cracked me up because that's the power of how design can change somebody's perception on something.
and it'd be interesting what year that was too, because Punk Island went through significant transitions. And the earlier, and I say this without having been present in the earlier part, but from what I've heard, there was a lot more grant money being offered and money being spent. So my guess is it probably went towards more pro versus DIY punk rock graphic artists, whereas now it runs a much more bare bones operations. So it kind of fits the ethos more where I think it started, but there was at some point, there was a brief period of year where they had gotten grant money that allowed them to take it probably too far,
Oh,
and
okay.
they overspent money. And then, well, now they don't have that money anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, but that's the thing, right? Like, and your Rally in the Valley thing, like, I mean, that looked like a tight, organized thing, and it was. We got up there, and it was tight. It was
Thank
organized,
you.
and it was a blast, and we all had fun. We all had a great time playing it, and
And that was Christian from Scotpository. He did that for me for free too, which is crazy kind of him.
dude,
He
hit
did
him up
all of that
again.
work for
That guy's
free.
great.
Yeah, it was so well done. I just feel bad. It's like I'm not. His band is in the middle of no. I don't know where his band is right now. Like at least he was playing it before. I don't like asking people for free work, but I would pay him if he wanted to be paid because he did such a great job. And then the T-shirt idea was a different guy. He but I sent him what we already had designed, and I said, "Can you work with this and try and stay within the same
Hmm.
idea?"
Yeah,
So
the mountains and the yeah. So we're playing that show that I was telling you about with Luxury Teeth. I get the merch because for some reason I wind up with a merch, and that's always a bad thing because when me and Matt wind up with the merch, we end up just like giving stuff away, and then we get into
No.
and we're like, guys, they're like, we don't have any T-shirts. I'm like, I don't know what happened. Like me and Matt got drunk, we just gave it all away. But so I go through the merch, and at the bottom of the thing, I said, well, what's this T-shirt? And I pull it up. It's a Rally in the Valley T-shirt that I bought Bob because they were like, what, $10 or something? I was like, I was like, give us 2 shirts. And I was like, well, I'm so glad you like the T-shirt that I got for you, Bob. And he's like, I love it. And I'm like, it's still got the tape on it, Bob. Come on, man.
I mean, I always only sell my shirts for $10, and people are like, why? I was like, what? I could sell it for 20 and make $8 profit, or I can sell for 10, not have to worry about change, and then hopefully you're going to wear it because you're coming to me because you want to. And I'm much more about that. Like it gets down to a certain point of like, what is my goal exactly? Right? Like my goal is for you to wear the fucking shirt and have people see the shirt. Because I remember going back in the 90s, I'd go to shows at like the Nation, or back then it was the Capitol Ballroom. And I'd be like, huh, look at these T-shirts that I see. There must have been a show that came through town that I didn't know about, but I see a half dozen people wearing T-shirts of some band. They must be the next band I should go check out.
T-shirts are like huge. Yep.
Huge. It's so much of how we pre-internet, especially, that I would learn about bands. I would see someone's it's like liner notes and T-shirts.
But stickers. See, that's still going on. That's still going on. Dude, I obsess about what makes a good band T-shirt. I obsess about.
I know. I think we had a conversation. You were like black on white, because I have 2 of your T-shirts. I have the Intrusion one,
yeah.
But I also have just a sick move with the little patch on the the back. Yeah,
nice. Yeah, that was
you were telling me I should get rid of the red and make it white instead.
I don't know. I like that for some reason. And I still want to do that hoodie. I know you and I talked about doing a hoodie, and I was like,
yeah.
I had started sketching it out. I was like, dude, I really want to do this and I know what it would be. It would have to be you.
That's crazy. Why me?
Because you are DCxPC. Like you'd have to be like the mascot. You'd be like the Milo for DCxPC.
Okay. That's it's
a no-brainer.
I have
People
to show
love you, and they support DCxPC because you're you, and they like the bands, and you're also like a big mascot for the whole thing. That's you. So it has to be you. It can't be anything but you. You know?
Okay. And so I'm going to show you this picture, and I'm going to share the screen and share this with you because my old bass player just did this for a poster for a show, but then he also just sent me just the image as well. And my photographer Aaron, you probably met him at the rally. He was like, "Oh, Scott, you've got to do this as a sticker." And I was like, I don't know if I do it as a sticker, it just makes me feel like I'm trying to make myself the center of everything. And I'm like, I'm trying not to just be that.
No.
There we go. Can you see that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
So, and I'm like, I could make special die cut stickers of just that, but I'm trying not to take away the idea that I really want this to be about community and not just be about me. And I love what you said. I appreciate that. I put a lot of work in everything I do, but I really do want to make sure that it's I don't know, something for everyone.
So, that resonates with me, right? Like I don't ever want to make anything about myself. And, so I understand your perspective, but also looking at it from an outsider and what DCxPC is and how you promote stuff, you're always on the face. You do the unboxing videos, you do, and your enthusiasm for it is kind of like it's gone beyond you. You know what I mean? Whether you like it or not, because of the way you've done stuff, you are the face of DCxPC, and there's no DCxPC without Scott. And
And I respect it, and I get it, right? Because you're right. I'm hanging up flyers. Hey, I'm doing the unboxings. I'm posing, and I'm certainly not a shy person, right? So I'm not like I have a podcast with my face, right? Like I'm
Yeah.
not.
You're
I'm
not
not
the guy in the
opposed to
back
it.
of the crowd with his arms crossed listening to the
No,
band. You're the guy up
no.
front screaming along.
I'm introducing half the bands at every show. Whatever. Like I gave a speech at the immigrant fundraiser that we did on Sunday. So yeah, I get that.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
just I I know I put myself out there, but I'm also the only person like until this year, I never had any support, that consistent support. This year I have a backline, and I'd kind of like if I wanted to do something, I'd like to have the whole backline involved because they matter. I've had the same sound guy for almost every show,
Oh,
right? I've had Aaron take photographs at every show I've done since the rally in the Valley. I've
hey, you
had the
want to talk
same
about
door guy
Aaron?
at every show. Yeah.
Hey, so after we got done playing Rally in the Valley, I'm walking down the street with my sister and my niece. And this is after we got done playing, and Aaron stops. He's walking by us, and he stops, and he says, "Hey, man, great set," and tells my sister, thanks for what she does for the homeless, and that sort of thing. And I talked to him briefly, and he just said, "I'm Aaron from." He said something about his band. I said, "Oh, what's the name
Snorts,
of your
yeah.
band?" And he goes, "The Snorts." I was like, "This like Batman logo?"
Yes.
Like I've never seen the Snorts play live. I've never, but they did the Batman logo, the old school Batman logo, and it says the Snorts on it, and I fucking love it. And I'm like, because you did that, this random guy that you're talking to walking down the street remembers your band name, and because of that, I have this thing in my head where I think that like it doesn't fit, right? Like Snorts, and it's like two totally different things.
It's a
But
very weird juxtaposition.
I just think of Aaron being like, I said Batman logo, man. Put it on there. Like I've been like, all right, fine. Okay.
It's funny, like in artwork, like I've always believed that like punk rock and artwork really have to go well together, that there's something about it. And the Snorts have a t-shirt and it has the word Snorts, and then there's two versions with white lines and yellow lines going across it. And they did this show up in Albany, and this guy's like, I really like your band and I want to buy your t-shirt. But that one looks like it's a bunch of cocaine lines for me to store it. And the other one looks like a bunch of ketamine lines or urine. So when you get some when you get some shirts that doesn't look like I'm snorting cocaine, ketamine, or urine, I'll buy a shirt from you.
Do they have any more of those shirts? I would totally wear one.
Well, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do.
I would so wear one.
And and they're one of those bands that like musically have continued to evolve. He sent me some of his new music and it reminds me of like the Briggs, and it's so fucking
Really?
good. Yeah.
He's a super nice guy. Every time I've talked to him, he's like been
Oh,
the nicest guy.
he's such a good person. It's like the kindness that oozes out of him. Like I just got lucky to meet him. So,
Yeah.
you know. But like
So
I said,
anyway,
I have this whole line of people that
yeah.
I want to make sure that they're honored.
Yeah, dude, you want me to do something? I'll whip something up.
Okay.
Probably won't be until like we're recording. It's coming up. I have to like put
Oh,
all my
right. You're recording?
Yeah, we just tracked all the drums. So,
Okay.
and then we're hoping to make some money off t-shirts coming up here soon so we can
Yeah,
offset the
I saw
cost.
you had the new t-shirts you were posting them up with your single. Those look really
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to buy more t-shirts. Like I have so many t-shirts, it's fucking
I don't,
ridiculous.
dude, I have so many t-shirts. I have piles of t-shirts.
I have a dresser labeled one, and I label my drawers. One says cutoffs for the ones I cut the sleeves off.
Yeah.
Then I have a drawer for work shirts, meaning that they're acceptable for me to wear when I'm teaching grad school classes or work in the admissions office. Then I have all the other shirts
Nice.
in the other
Are
two
those
drawers.
band t-shirts the ones that you like
That's
work band t-shirts?
pretty much. I've worn yours to work. Yours is close to like the intrusive thoughts, and the other one, your shirts are acceptable to work.
I'll make one that's not, and then so you can have one in every drawer.
And I even try like, you know what? The easiest way for me to limit it is to only have a t-shirt from bands whose records I put out. The problem is I put out 50 records
You
by now,
you got a
right?
lot of t-shirts already.
Well, yeah, and then you figure some of the, like, records are 2 bands, some are 4 bands.
Yeah.
Even doing that limitation gives me more fucking t-shirts that I could wear. So,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Dude, t-shirts though, like, have you ever heard of the band Homefront?
Feel like I have, yes, I think I just had them on one of my playlists recently, yes. Either
Okay,
this week or
have
last
you
week.
heard of the band Homefront, or have you just seen everybody wearing their t-shirts?
No, 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 I actually heard of them. I didn't know who they were until I heard their music.
Because I've seen probably 1,000 people in other bands playing on stage
Interesting.
wearing a Homefront t-shirt. And before I check them out, I mean, t-shirts are, you have a good t-shirt design. I mean, obviously they're a good band, what they're doing is cool, but if you have a good t-shirt design, it goes everywhere. You can't go anywhere in Baltimore, any show, and somebody's not wearing a Meth Rats t-shirt. I
Sure,
mean,
because they're great t-shirts, right?
they knocked it out of the park, dude. And that's not what I did. That was somebody else. I don't know who it was. I think it was maybe one of the dudes from the Ravagers. Actually, it was a combination. Like Justin told me, like had one guy do the logo, one guy draw the thing, and then send it off to some place in Indonesia, and the guy like pieced it all together. I don't know. It was some weird
That's fascinating.
process that he had with that. But
Um, I have a band I manage called World Sucks, basically like a thrash metal band with like deep punk political influence. And we had a meeting last night to talk about the upcoming t-shirts, and they have a song called Punch a Nazi in the Face, but they haven't played it in like a year and a half. Like it's been forever, but at least not since the rally in the valley, right? Like they haven't played it. And they're like, we have the shirts, but people come and buy the shirts even before we played. And on one level, that's great because we're on tour, we're making money, and they donate money at every show they play to a local cause. But they're like, we want to be more than the shirt. We want people to buy the shirt because they like our music. We don't want to just be people that are buying a shirt because they like punching Nazis, which everyone should like to do. But they're like, it's a shtick that's kind of worn its level out. We just want to stop doing it. And I was like, yeah, I
yeah,
think it's time. I was like, it's done its course, but you're more than that. That was like something that occurred, what was that, 5 years ago when what's his face got punched in the face and everybody was doing memes and jokes about it. And
wait, the guy.
yeah, remember when that guy got punched, like that Nazi got the
Dude, oh, okay.
all
Yeah,
right.
what was his name? What was this? It was like Richard or something.
Yeah, I feel like I just off the top of my head, I can't think of it.
I never posted this. I got to show you this. Hold on. Uh, this is so dumb. I was just doodling one day. um, so that's good to know that like that sells really well. So I don't think that they should do that anymore. World Sox. I think that maybe Sick Moo should do it and sell a bunch of those T-shirts.
Yeah,
You
go
know, we'll be
ahead.
the punch Nazi in the face guys for $30 T-shirts.
There was a band called The Longest Haul that had a great t-shirt like that in Florida too. So I'm
Really?
not opposed to punching Nazis, and it always sold well.
Yeah. I mean, we'll punch Nazis. Damn it! Where is this thing? Oh wait, here we go. Here we go. Now we're cooking. Getting closer. Getting closer. Nope, not that one. And it's either this one
Are you looking on your
and
iPad?
yeah,
Is that where you do most of your artwork?
it's where I do all my artwork. Not for any other reason other than it's just convenient. Ah,
Sure.
here we go. Is this the guy? that's, that's so tough.
Jesus. Yes, that's the guy.
Yeah, all right, there you go.
Holy shit, that's hilarious. I love that.
You know what? This is gonna be a next sick move T-shirt. I just thought it was funny to do a portrait of this guy, and this is another picture of him. And I was gonna have another fist coming through. Sorry, it's hard to see.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, oh my god, that's
And there was gonna be a fist coming through like this.
yeah. No,
I don't know
that
the
would sell
guy's
really
name.
well.
This is like Richard Spencer. Is that his name?
Yes, yes, I think
Yeah.
that's it. So, like art matters, but like you also wanted to make sure that it like evokes who you want you are. Like I've been doing really well with those like DCPC Love shirt
Yeah.
and the hoodies. So because I try really hard in this area to make sure that the spaces are inclusive and gay and trans positive, which shouldn't be a hard thing to do, but there's enough of a tough guy thing around here that
Is
sometimes
there?
it needs to be done. There is. Not a lot, but there is.
Yeah.
I've certainly seen it. It reminds me of like late 80s, early 90s broness.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's everywhere now. When there's in a hardcore scene, I think it just tends to exist.
I'm not anything positive, right? I am
Yeah.
positive, but like my whole take on it is it's 2025. Like, of course I am. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say it either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
You shouldn't have to, right? But
you
like,
shouldn't have to.
but literally when arguments start happening, people stop dropping like the faggot term and stuff like that. I start hearing that. I'm like, I was like, all right, this is just I don't know. It's fine. I don't deal with that at my shows. You can, yeah.
Well, there's a band from Punk Island called that.
Yes, they are, but they were probably gay and taking back the term the same way like Bitch Magazine took back the term, and I remember being in a Punk Island committee meeting and someone was voicing discomfort with it, but you know what? Sometimes art is supposed to be uncomfortable. Like
Especially
there's
punk rock.
art, yeah. Like, but art being uncomfortable is not the same thing as someone just being a fucking person on the sidewalk throwing slurs at people.
Yeah. Yeah. And
There's a
9 times out of
difference.
10, they're just crazy,
Yeah,
That's what I tell myself anyway.
most likely. But like, I see you're wearing the RBNX shirt. Like when I moved here, I saw RBNX stickers everywhere. And because I didn't know what RBNX stood for, I thought it was like a skateboard company or maybe a type of amp. I had no idea what the fuck it was.
Really?
But the stickers were fucking everywhere. The Hudson Valley was just filled with them.
I got this from them at Pedal Pushers, and I've worn it every day. It was like $25 when they came down. When they came down and played with us at Pedal Pushers, the first time I played with them, fucking love them. Love that band. I think they're amazing. I even kind of pitched to Mike. I was like, "Hey, man, I got this idea to do some art for you."
Fuck yeah.
And I pitched it to him, and he was like, kind of into it. And I was like, you know what? You guys don't need any help in this department. Like, you're killing it. Like, I was at the show we played the other night. I was wearing this, and Bob's wearing the Alien RBNX T-shirt, the yellow one. I was like, they don't need me. They're killing it. But I will say this: I did tell Mike this. They got one logo, and I haven't seen it all. They've got this one. They got another one. But the best one that I've seen is one that they did out of tape.
Yeah. That one's great.
Really good. And I was like, dude, you guys got to use that. Like, it just looks so good. And I couldn't even see the whole thing, but I only saw like RB and part of the N. And it was like in one of their pictures on their Instagram was like, that looks the best. That looks awesome.
Well, they're playing Galactic Panther in a couple weeks.
What's that?
It's show space in Alexandria, Virginia.
Really?
Yeah. So I booked their tour. Dave from Rise Defy helped set it up. So they are.
That's where I've heard the name.
Yeah, they're coming on their way back from Florida. So sometimes after New Year's, I think it's like maybe January 3rd.
Really?
Yeah.
So
and then I have Shark Noises playing Galactic Panther in March. I don't know if you saw Shark Noises. They were the last band on that Sunday.
I actually need bands if you want to play that all the time.
If you want to play it, I do need more bands for that show.
What day is it?
Oh my God, I'll email you later. I want to do that. I'll send it to you. But like, yeah, you were on my list of people to reach out to anyway. So
okay, cool.
It's one of those venues where I book the show, but I have to find all the bands.
Mm-hmm.
That's my least favorite tours to book. I like it when I can book a tour and I find a promoter that actually handles stuff.
Yeah. So, we're trying to play, but we're also trying to get this thing done. We've got a lot to do on the next thing. So
which I respect, right? Like sometimes you got to just stop and playing and like record and take the time to do the writing that you do.
Yeah, and
What? What?
this is the first band that we've been in that Matt and I have been in where like people have been actively like reaching out trying to get us to play like.
As they should.
But yeah, I mean, but we used to have to fight to like get to play places,
Sure.
and so it's hard for us to be like, oh no, we can't. You know, we try to play a lot, but
Sure. So what art are you working on right now? Do you have any projects in the works?
well, I just finished up uh an album cover for Hollowed Sky, this band out of Baltimore, and they're not like my typical thing. It's they're more like they're really good. They're really good. Stylistically, it's not something that I typically do, but I don't let that deter me. You know, I don't want to do punk bands. I want to do stuff for people who want me to do stuff for them, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
absolutely.
And working on like a food truck design for a good buddy of mine who used to be in a band, and is actually he's in Doc Martin and the Flannels, but he's kind of starting up this food truck thing, and it's cool. It's a fun one to do. So
So
and
Doc Martin and the Flannels, that's interesting. Is that reminds me of that No Effects song, Jeff wears Birkenstocks and he wears a tie-dyed rancid shirt. Like Doc Martens and flannels. It's like, oh, okay,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you're rocking the
They're a '90s cover band, and they kill it.
that makes sense.
And they kill it. I mean, like you want them to play. If you're a bar and you book them, you're gonna have a
Yep.
full house. They kill it, man. And he is such a good vocalist. And he was in a band. His name is Billy Fisher. He was in a band called Freudian Slip out of Baltimore
Okay.
with Jeremy. Remember
Ah,
Jeremy
yeah,
Hayes?
Jeremy
Who,
did such great work.
dude, he's killing it right now. Have you seen
I
what he's
think
doing with Autobar TV?
no, I didn't even know what that was. I gotta look that up.
Dude, they're doing like it's. You remember how Autobar, like you could find old recordings of Autobar. Like I remember I found an old Avail show, and I think I
Yeah.
found like an old Against Me show at the Autobar, and
Okay.
it was like the VHS thing. So the TV in the bar, like you could look out there. Now they're actually filming them, and not only
Oh,
that, but they're doing the sound. You got to listen to the adverts one, dude. It's
okay.
so good. And Jeremy live records it and mixes it. Trapped Under Ice, he did.
I'm looking now. It's like he did Scowl
Yep.
and I gotta reach out and see if they want to release any of this stuff on vinyl.
Oh, dude, that'd be a good idea. And it
I
sounds so good. Listen to it. Like
yeah. And, and,
Jeremy's
and yeah. Oh, I'm definitely gonna reach out. Holy
and
hell.
and you know how this all started?
No.
By me act so when we were gonna record for to release with you,
Yeah.
we're like, Jeremy, we don't know how to do it. And Jeremy was like, well, all you gotta do is just take one of those like plug a flash drive into the mixing console and then just have like a room mic. And we're like, but we don't know how to do it. He's like, you know what? Fine, I'll just come down there. And so I comes down there. He's like got his mic set up, and he's never like he's recorded his own band live once before, and it sounded phenomenal. I was like,
Yeah.
that sounds great. And when I showed up at the venue, it was at Metro. When I showed up at the venue, he was just like, he was kind of like, this is cool, you know, and he was having a good time. And yeah, and then the next show he did was Trapped Under Ice at Autobar.
Oh my gosh. And then he's like, yeah, I
So
should record this too and
yeah,
set up the video as well. Oh, definitely. Because the Overprivileged and the Rev 11s recorded an album at the Auto Bar. I
really,
think it was Mary or Margaret. And they did a great job with the board. But Jeremy, kind of like my guy Josh down in Florida and my guy Des up here.
uh
Like there are people that like make sure that like they're miking everything separately and distinctly from the room sound to the recording sound. They're two different things. And that's a hard thing for me to explain to people because I'm not really a technician myself. But I do understand that there's a difference between what you want to get from the room and what you want to get onto the board for me
right.
to record. Like I flew down to Florida Underground Fest last year and I used a program called Reaper, which is kind of like Pro Tools. and I hooked my laptop up to the 32 thing board, and I just had the unmixed tracks coming in straight through to my board, my computer, and then saved it on an external hard drive.
Yeah.
But everything had to be mic'd. I was like, it was like but not everything that was being mic'd was being processed for the room. Like, they weren't inherently like, there were things that they would have never mic'd for the room that they were miking for me just so I could have it.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
See, yeah, I just call that wizard stuff.
Yeah. It's not really my skill set. Like, I hire really smart people,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I hire smart people that know what they're doing, they can solve problems, and I don't have to stress about stuff.
I couldn't agree more. That's, one of the strengths for our band is that we know what we can do and we know what we can't,
Yeah.
right? And we
Yeah.
know that, like, if there's art, we don't need to hire an artist or a graphic designer because, like, I'll just do something. If somebody doesn't like it, then whatever, we'll just not use it, right? And Bob, we don't even have a screen printer. Bob screen prints all our stuff,
See,
and
that's great.
yeah, and we don't have marketing because Matt does all the marketing, and he's like a whiz at that kind of stuff. And but yeah, like when it comes down to sound, we just record the tracks and throw it at Jeremy and be like, "Hey, make this sound good." And he's like,
Yeah.
"Cool."
And that's what you wanna be able to do. You wanna use some utter confidence that it's all gonna be just how it needs to be. Like, my basic album covers, if bands send me a high def logo and high def photos for me to use on the back, I can do my basic covers in Canva. My skill set is more than serviceable to do my bare bones covers. But when I have to make flyers, it gets even a little more problematic. And anything beyond that is just it's outside my skill set. I have to hire people. I can I can run a PA if I need to, if I'm having a show, but I can't run a PA and go, "Oh, this is where I need to mic it to make sure that it gets the full sound of your bass amp properly recorded for a live." I can't do that. It's way yeah, it's fine, and, like, I just can't, and I don't know what can be done and fixed in Studio Magic versus what has to be set up properly, I have with all the people that I use that have recorded stuff, they all have different philosophies. Some are much more anal retentive that are like, okay, this is exactly where this mic needs to be for me to capture this guitar amp the right way. Others be like, oh, this will be fine. I can fix it in post production. I'm like, okay. I just trust them.
Who's the guy that you just had on? The recording guy.
Josh. Yeah.
The guy, is he down in Florida? He had the
He's
glasses.
down in Florida. Yeah. He does all the mixing and mastering for pretty much everything I do.
Okay.
So you're one of the few records that he didn't mix and master.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That guy was super interesting to listen to.
Yeah.
And
It's
how he goes about stuff. He's like, I don't like to do it piece by piece by piece. He's like, I want to get all the bands playing live. And that's something I fought against.
yes.
The sick move because Matt had gotten it or somebody had gotten it. And they're like, maybe we should try it like this. I was like, guys, we're not that band. Like, we're not going to be sitting there playing it live like that. Like, it's just, I feel like it's just going to take us a really long time to get it to where we want it if we do it like that.
But I knew that's how he recorded. So I was like, this is the guy to do all my live albums. So like he did my very first album as a live stream and we decided to record it. And I convinced him that once he could do it as a live stream, he could carry his whole thing to a venue, to a dive bar and do it again. And he hesitated because he was concerned about his equipment getting broken and shit and bringing all his stuff there. But, I managed to convince him. But like DCPC would not exist without Josh.
It's awesome.
Without him, it would have probably died an early death. It would
I'm
have been
glad it
3 or 4
hasn't.
releases and be done. No, I'm glad it hasn't too. And because of him, I knew what I needed. I'd be like, "Hey, I'm up here, I wanna record some local bands up here. What do I need? What do I need to look for in a sound engineer?" And he would give me advice like, "These are the things they need. If you want to give them my number, I'll talk them through what they need to do." So, like, invaluable help, kindness. So,
Heck yeah, that's
but that's
awesome.
what I'm not community, man. It's community.
Absolutely. I'd much rather do um, something, much rather do art and an album cover for a band that is just starting out and locally in my scene than I would for a national touring act. Well, I mean, I would
Absolutely.
love to do a national touring act, um, but it's not why I do it. I don't do it for money. I do it because I'm going to be drawing anyway. So if I can help somebody out by
Yeah.
doing it, even if it's like doing something like you want me to draw a flyer or something like that, yeah, like let me
Yeah.
know. And
Yeah.
you
I
don't
would,
have
I would,
money,
I would,
you
your
know?
flyers are great. I would love to have you draw a flyer.
Yeah, yeah, hit me up.
So,
You know what I mean? You never know what I've got going on. So
yeah. Like I said, I try and spread stuff out to make sure I don't overwork or overtax any of my artists, and also just kind of gives like a fresh look to the shows. I did.
100%.
I found a new artist at an event I was at, and they did a great job. And then I used them back to back on another show, and the new flyer was also great, but their colors were so close together that I was like, ah. I was like, these shows are only a week apart, and the colors are so close, it almost looks like they're the same show.
I found an
So,
artist that you used, and I really like his stuff.
is it Brendan on the internet?
You use Brendan on the internet?
Yeah, I use Brendan on the internet all the time.
Oh, Brendan on the internet's really, really good. Uh,
Yep.
Ed
I'm
Zombie.
wearing one of his shirts right now.
Are you? Let me see.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's sick.
Yeah.
That's awesome. See, that's a good T-shirt.
Yeah.
I feel
It's
like I
white,
haven't
but it's
cracked that yet,
good. Yeah.
man. I haven't cracked that. Like, I want to get that good sick move T-shirt, and ugh. No, it was Ed Zombie.
Oh, Ed Zombie. Okay, Ed Zombie is great. He actually lives in Mexico. So, the only issue I ever and I say this with all, since English is probably not his first language, I have to really go through the fine-tooth comb to make sure that it's like 31st and not 31st and little things like that. But he's so responsive and so kind and so helpful. His
Yeah,
work is really, really friggin' good. Um, and it's just been a matter of like there was a brief period where I was doing so many shows. I think I did like 5 shows in a month. And I was like, well, if you take 5 shows and multiply it by $40, that's $200.
yeah,
And I just had to do some flyers by myself because I just needed to not spend the money because I was putting out records. I was like, where am I going to put the money? Towards putting out records or making flyers?
yeah, yeah.
You know?
And like I got asked by Baltimore Subspace, who we played. It's like a Artscape, no, Subscape. It's like a different edition for like local Baltimore music and sometimes touring acts. But like they do this festival at like Metro and a couple of different venues. But they reached out and they were like, "Hey, look, we don't have money to pay you. We're trying to do because I did the DOA flyer and the War on the
Yeah.
Rim because we played with them, and so I was just like, all right, I'm gonna do that." I did a flyer. We put it up on the billboard, and they were like, "You're not going to be able to get it up on this big LED billboard." Well, Matt knows the person, or is emailed him, got it up on the billboard like the week of, and so they reached out this year, and they're like, "Hey, look, we don't have any money, but do you mind like drawing another flyer for one of the days?" I was like, "Sure, just don't
Yeah.
sell it, like don't make
Yeah.
copies of it and sell it, but like pay the bands. That's fine. I got nothing else going on."
Well, it's even like so like Brendan on the internet charges a very reasonable price. But I had like one show where we had to make a revision and then another revision. And then I had to switch venues and to make another revision. And he did it like in like 3 hours in between his daughter's like lacrosse practice. And I sent him some money. I was like, why'd you send me money? I revised for free. I was like, yeah, but you made a lot of revisions and you've probably done a bunch of other revisions. And so I just feel like I need to pay you because even though you said this is the flat rate and I can revise as needed, I know how often I've had to come to you and say, "Hey, this band changed. I need you to do a new flyer." Like that's, you know, it's hard to find people that do good work and are responsive and willing to make changes without getting irritated at you.
Yeah, yeah. I
And
mean,
he's great at that.
is he in a band?
Um, I don't know.
I've followed him for a while now, and he does really, really good stuff.
Yeah, I
And
use
so,
him. I use Total Nuclear Hell. Total Nuclear Hell's the one that did the Rally in the Valley shirt. He did my Florida Underground Fest album that just came out, and then Ralpho does a lot of really good stuff, but he's got a full-time job, so every time he works for me, it's like, and he does a lot of art on the side that he gets paid for, so it's like I know how busy he is.
Dude, I got a whole list. Have you seen oh, first of all, like these are like my favorite art. Let me plug some guys on there.
Yeah. Plug some guys.
I don't, you can always reach out to them. I don't know but first of all, one of my favorite guys right now is fucking my underscore fetal brain, and his name is Jeff,
Okay.
and he plays in the Slads. Have you heard of them?
Okay.
And he also plays in another band called Damage, the Damage, I think. And
Yeah.
dude, this guy has got like the '80s, like ugly ink art down, so good. It's I love it. Like he's my obsession right now. Like his art is just so good. He did. You ever heard of Psyop out of DC?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, PSYOP's great. I love
Yeah,
PSYOP.
he did the tape, the new four song EP that they just put out. It's fucking killer EP. It's killer artwork. So definitely check him out.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It looks fucking sick, dude.
Dude, look at his stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got to look at it and I got to be like, all right, don't get any ideas. You know what I mean?
No, I
Because I don't
get
want to
that.
rip the guy off, but I love what he does. And he was super nice. I like messaged him. I said, hey man, like, what are you using? Like, he walked me through his entire process as to like how he gets the effects that he does.
Yeah.
Because he does a lot of heavy distressing and like a
Oh
lot of
yeah, it's like all the kind of like grainy, but like really clear at the same time. It's
hmm.
really rad, dude.
But I love the way he draws stuff because it's like a little bit
Yeah.
fucked up,
Yeah.
like some of his guys. Another guy you got to check out is Doomtooth.
Doomtooth?
DoomToof. I don't know the guy at all, but he did Supreme Commanders, one of Supreme Commanders albums.
All right. I'm following him right now. I'm taking a look. Yeah, Supreme Commander is supposed to have a record coming out with me. I got to follow up with them. I know they recorded it and sent it to Jeremy, and they just kind of disappeared.
Well,
So,
I don't know if I should say it, but I heard it and it sounds fucking great. Because Jeremy will sometimes send me stuff and be like, "Hey, does this sound okay?"
yeah.
And it sounded awesome.
Okay. Awesome.
I don't know if I should say that. So
Yeah, I don't know why you shouldn't say it. What's wrong with saying that music sounds awesome? So
yeah,
that's,
like
I
if
don't think anyone's
if
gonna.
you're hesitating, you're like, "Oh, I don't think it sounds good." Shut up. It does. It sounds really good.
All
All right.
right, this guy's rad. Yeah. Okay. What you got next?
Oh, dude. Oh, dude. I love this guy. Sergi. Hold on. This guy is like kind of my hero. Oh, Sergi dot SERGI dot DINAMITA.
DINA. There he is. Boom. Oh, that's pretty fucking rad, dude.
Dude, look at this guy.
All right, he has his account as private, so I can only see the little thumbnail he's got. Yeah, I
This
don't know
guy?
why his account is. Why would you have your account as private if you're an artist? But I guess like he doesn't need all that.
No.
Yeah, artist, illustrator, lowbrow art and punk rock, custom art for bands and things. Like he's got his account is set as private, so I have to wait for him to accept me before I can see his full
What?
profile. Yeah,
Jay
it's
Howley,
okay.
the Howley on Instagram. He's out of Baltimore. He's kick ass. Um, I have one of his posters because it fell off the wall of Metro, so I took it. The Howley. I love this guy's art, dude, man. This guy's so good.
Okay, dude. There he is, Jay Howie. Got it.
Also Eyeball Fortress. I don't know him, but he's great. That's actually a good Instagram handle. I wrote Devin. He's out of Baltimore too. He did auto bar stuff.
Okay.
Uh, I have both of his auto bar t-shirts and I love them.
All right, that's good stuff.
Yeah, man. So there's other people. Oh, Graydon's. Oh, Graydon Spees. Duh. Got it. He did our social not working cover for the single. I don't know why we do covers for things we're not actually printing, but like we just like the art for it. But Graydon Spees, he is that guy. I would definitely hit up for yeah, it's Graydon, Graydon
Huh?
SPEACE. He's got, dude. He does like collages
Yeah.
that are
This is some
rad.
rad shit. Oh, this is some dope ass shit.
He's so good at that stuff too. And he's also in like northern Pennsylvania. So
Okay, super rad. So, when I send people to go look at your stuff, should they look at your Instagram or do you have a website or anything? Is your Instagram your best place to look at stuff?
just Instagram.
Okay.
There you go.
And you do. All right. I will also put that in the profile because what is Chris Dizzle? Is that Shizzle My Nizzle? Like, what is that?
Yeah, it's my rap name.
So I figured that was your rap name. Do you rap? Do you have flow?
No.
Can you drop bars?
No, but in case I do, it's just nice to have that part figured out. Like if I decide that I'm going to be a rapper, I don't have to think about the name. I already have it.
All right, my brother. It has been a pleasure chatting with you. I
Always,
thank everyone for listening. If you need an artist, I am telling you, Dave Gregg is fucking phenomenal. His work is great. Check out his Instagram in the description of the episode. It is worth your time.
Oh yeah.
Flyers, album covers, t-shirts, tattoos, because I'm definitely going to get that tattoo.
Yes. John
I'm
Water.
going to.
Let's do it.
That's going to be like my birthday gift to myself.
Right there.
Right down my fucking face. Nah, fuck him. He wouldn't let me take a photo with him. He just did a shot with me instead, which is also not bad.
I didn't even think to get a photo with him. We gave him
I asked. He said no, but I'll do a shot with you to Baltimore. And I'm called No Shot Scott up here. Like, I don't drink liquor. But I did a shot with John Waters because it's fucking John Waters. But then fucking Serge got a picture with him outside.
I know, I saw that.
And I was
There's
like,
a
what
lot
the
of
fuck?
people. One of Bob's friends, Mike, got a picture with him outside.
But what the fuck? I asked first.
Yeah. He left his t-shirt. We gave him one of the Intrusive Thoughts t-shirts and he just left it at the bar.
Yeah. At least he was there.
I know. It was such a good night. It was such a Baltimore night. I mean, like,
it was a great night. I had so much fun. It was such a pleasure being there. I'm glad I made the drive down for that.
Yeah, we had such a good time. I'm glad you came. I'm glad the record's selling well. So
yeah, and we can see what happens. Maybe when your other record comes out, we'll talk about maybe doing a repress and doing a bundle deal or something like that, or figure it out. I haven't done represses before, but I do have a distributor now, so
cool.
So it does help to sell the records, and represses are cheaper than the originals.
Are they?
You don't have to pay for you don't have to pay for the stampers to get made again.
Okay.
So it's usually like a couple $300 to $500 cheaper to repress. Yeah. That's why I was like, if you press a small amount, you're paying a higher unit cost. But if you're going to repress later, your repress cost is going to be pretty cheap.
Cool.
Yeah. So
cool.
All right, my brother. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for listening. This has been DCPC Live Scene Support with David Gregg. I want to call him Gregg all the time, but that's actually his last name. He's got a last name, first name, and a first name, last name. It is what it is. People do that sometimes. I would have taken my wife's last name was Frank, but I already have Scott Michael. So if I would have been Scott Michael Frank, got to be 3 first names, 3 last names, and 3 middle names, and I just couldn't fucking handle that. So I had to tell her fuck now. So she had to take my name. Otherwise, I'd have gladly taken her name. Could have been Snot Pockets, and I'd have taken it. But I ain't.
This is one hell of an outro, Scott.
All right, that's it. We're done. Fuck y'all. Love you, everybody. Bye.